What is up, everybody? I think it was this past summer or so, I decided that I wanted to give up soda or pop or Coke or whatever you call it. I always drink a ton of water, but sometimes you want flavor, you want bubbles and stuff like that. And so I decided to give sparkling waters a try. Before, when I had tried sparkling waters, I didn't like them because they weren't as flavorful. They didn't satisfy me, and it was just like I'd rather drink regular water than sparkling water. And if that's you, that's okay. But for me, people would be like, "Oh, I love LaCroix," and I would call it La Grosse because I just did not like it. But maybe it's because I'm getting older and my palate is becoming more refined. I don't know. But I decided that I wanted to give sparkling water a real shot. But there's so many flavors, there's so many brands, and for me, I'm a very indecisive person, and so I decided to just try them all. I didn't try all of them, but it does matter what brand it is and what flavor it is and things like that. And so I just thought I would share with you some of my thoughts and experiences, and maybe this will help you if you're trying to cut back on soda or something like that, or you're just looking for new sparkling waters to try. So some honorable mentions. These aren't like, I wouldn't classify these as sparkling waters, but Zevia, like I gave Zevia a try, and it was okay. You know, like I know some people who really love it. That's great. They're kind of expensive, but the flavor isn't really there for me. Like I would rather have something more original than something that's trying to be something else. And so they're okay. This San Pellegrino blood orange one, it's kind of more like a sparkling juice than a sparkling water, and so it's kind of cheating, but it's delicious. But with what I am now, I'm doing this other thing, I'll talk about it later, with my health, and so there's some ingredients there that I would not drink regularly, as well as it's kind of expensive and stuff like that. So but I tried a bunch of other brands from a number of stores, but I'm kind of seeing like some major themes within them and stuff. This is not like an official ranking, this is kind of me just like sharing my thoughts. But I will save my favorites for last. But I tried Spindrift. I really like the design. I do not like the water. Granted, I've only tried one because again they're kind of expensive, so maybe I just need to try other flavors. But this one that I tried, I did not like it. I had high hopes for it, but it was kind of disappointing. I tried this Waterloo grape flavor. It's kind of good. Yeah, like I'd be willing to try more Waterloos, but it didn't necessarily blow my mind. I've tried a number of Polars. I can't remember where I got these from, maybe Hy-Vee or someplace, but I think you can get them a number of places. These were a lot more hit or miss depending on the flavor. Like, I like mango, but this mango limeade, to me, it kind of has this aftertaste of dirt. So I'm not the biggest fan of it. And the raspberry one, like, it's okay. I think for me, the blood orange was my favorite one, but again, nothing that really makes me want to buy this again. I will say for all these where I'm not as positive, I'll gladly drink them. Like if I'm at a party and this is what they got, I am not like opposed to it at all. But as far as me going out and purchasing stuff, it kind of depends. I've tried a few bubblies. I think I've tried a number of other flavors, but maybe I didn't save them. I don't know. But they're okay. Like, they're okay. I think these are kind of expensive too. It's kind of a trend, right? Like, there's a lot of expensive sparkling waters. That's another reason why I didn't want to get it, is I'm paying so much for water. Like, I got it on tap. Anyways. But I've tried a lot of Ahas. These I think I got from like Hy-Vee and stuff like that. And again, the flavors are kind of hit and miss for me. There's some that I prefer more than others, but they're okay. Like, I think if I remember correctly, these are kind of cheaper, so they're all right. I've tried a number of LaCroix. The only two that I have on hand are Limoncello and Tangerine, and these are pretty good. I'll save my favorites for last. There's two more brands, but I will say this: for me personally, if you're like who I was, just getting started in this whole thing, I think it was really helpful to find sparkling waters that might already be a flavor of water that you have. Like, so for instance, an easy one is water with lemon, right? You can get that at a lot of restaurants. For me, like, it was something that I would kind of expect. You know, when I get water with lemon, I'm not expecting the punch of a lemonade. Whereas, like I was saying, for Zevia, for instance, it's like, I love root beer. It's one of my favorite pops sodas. I've lived all over the country. I don't know what you call it anymore. But when I drink this, it's just an imitation of root beer, right? But like, if I get tangerine or something citrusy like lemon or something like that, it's like that's kind of an already familiar water for me. Now it just has bubbles, and so I kind of enjoy it more. That's just me personally, but I digress. The final two brands that I think enjoyed the most is, this one's kind of a cop-out because this is the only one that I've tried from this brand. It's called Nixie. But this is lime ginger, and for me personally, like, my favorite, I know I just said root beer is my favorite soda, but I also really love ginger ale, and so I really like the gingerness in this, and so that's just me, but I enjoy that, I have four from the same brand that I think is my favorite, and what I will probably spend more time on drinking these. Like, I've just really enjoyed them. Again, it kind of flows into that these are already similar-ish flavors to what I've had before, or at least for some of them, but I really like them. But they're from Target. It's the Good and Gather brand. This is cucumber mint. It's kind of weird, but I also really love it. I think it's really refreshing. It's not one that I like. If I had to pick one to drink for the rest of my life, I don't think this would be it, but I really like cucumber mint. I don't think I've tried this one, but it's another ginger one, so I was curious about it. But ginger peach and yuzu, is that how you pronounce it? Mandarin. It's really good. And then I think I've tried one of these, but pear hibiscus. It's nice. And so this is why I like Good and Gather. One, like, the flavor's there, and it doesn't taste like metallic-y or weird to me. I really like it. It's also there. There's some of these where you drink it and I'm like, is this even flavored? Like, there's like a whisper of it, but I can't really tell. For these, like, I can tell. Again, it's not as intense as like a Mountain Dew or something like that, but it's there, and I really enjoy the flavors. But the other thing, like I said, like, you know, pear hibiscus, I know there's a lot of companies with a lot of different brands, so there's probably other things similar, but I like the difference in flavors. You know, like, there's others where it's like orange or, you know, whatever across the board for these brands. I like that Good and Gather has a number of different kind of more out there brands. So I think for me personally, Good and Gather from Target was my favorite sparkling water that I came across. But that's just me personally. If you have a favorite sparkling water, then awesome. If you hate sparkling water, then okay. I'm not here to change anybody's mind. But for me, I was really trying to cut back on soda, and this has really helped me be able to do that. Yeah, I just thought I would share this video about water. If you like it, then cool. If you don't, then I don't blame you. So, thanks for watching. Bye. Okay, so after all of the drinking of the waters and stuff, I revisited all of those flavors, and there were actually some Good and Gather flavors that I didn't actually like. And I also forgot how good Limoncello LaCroix is, so I feel like I was a little bit too harsh on LaCroix. So all that to say is, I feel like I know nothing about sparkling water and what's good and what's not. So just go out and drink whatever you want. I don't know.